This is my note card, and this is my audience.
Hi, I'm Jessica, and today I'm here to inform you about the endangerment of gorillas. Did you know that over 90% of gorillas' DNA is similar to human DNA, which makes them our closest relative out of all animals? There are two different species of gorillas. There is the eastern and the western, but there are also several different subspecies. As I started reading these articles about the endangerment of gorillas, I became very surprised with how in danger they actually are, and I was very surprised by how much they do for our ecosystem. There are many different threats to gorillas at this time, but there are also several different ways for people to get involved in protecting these gorillas as well. One of the main threats right now is the reproduction rate of gorillas. They reproduce much like humans, which means they usually only have one child at a time, and it usually takes them several months or several years to have another child. There is hunting and trading in Africa right now, and that has really decreased the population of gorillas the past few years. But by far, disease is the biggest threat to gorillas, and so that is something that really needs to be worked on. So the reproduction rate of gorillas is not something that us as humans can do right now, right now. So I would rather talk about the aspects that we can control. So hunting and trading in Africa is illegal, but usually people that get caught don't really get punished. And so I think if we have a stronger law enforcement system around those regions, that would really help a lot. WWF is a World Wildlife Fund, and right now they are trying to track down these people that are trading and also to teach people the danger of eating this gorilla meat. Like I said, disease is one of the biggest threats to gorillas right now. WWF website stated that about a third of gorillas lost their lives to the Ebola virus, and so they are trying their hardest to find how to stop these diseases and prevent Ebola. So since gorillas share many of the same traits with humans, they can also catch many of the same diseases as us. So as you can see, WWF has done a lot for the gorilla habitats, but there are also several other individuals and organizations that have done a lot as well. Diane Fossey passed away December of 1985, and even though she is not alive today, the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund is still very active. One of the main things that this Fossey Fund does is gets local communities together to really learn how to protect these gorillas. And the Fossey Fund has also created many educational groups, which has helped a lot as well. Jane Goodall has traveled most of her life, and she has become a huge part of protecting gorillas. She still to this day has started many organizations to help increase their population. The Jane Goodall Institute states that she has 9 different strategies to help the gorillas and their habitats. One of the main parts of the strategy is education. She really wants to educate people to perform better habits that will help gorillas in the long run. Research is another big component in these 9 strategies because, like I said, they're really trying to research how to stop these diseases, and so that is a really big aspect to look at right now. To this day, Jane Goodall, she still travels the world and shares her knowledge with people, but she still tries to fit in time to protect wildlife conservation. So, gorillas live mainly in forests, and so their main job is to help maintain these forests. The humans in Central Africa, they look for the same food and water environments that gorillas do. So when we're trying to help these forests, we're not only helping the gorillas, but also the humans that live there. So the main ways that we are protecting these forests is we see where most of the gorillas are living, and so we see that water is generated from these forests, and the water that is generated falls on the United States as rain. And so if the forest fails, then it will be felt globally. So if gorillas do become extinct, that would become very harsh on the humans that live in these forests because it would make finding food very hard for them. Gorillas also keep the population in these forests equal, and so whenever these are not equal, there could become overpopulation and more extinction around these forests, and that is very harsh for people that live there to get through. So it is a vital project for us to look for new ways to help these gorillas because they are helping our world in many ways. So I think if we look more into this, we can see how gorillas are really changing our lives. And I know that sounds crazy, but they really are. So Dr. Jane Goodall once said, "There is powerful force unleashed when young people resolve to make change." Thank you.